Hello and welcome back. My name is Kieron Seamons. This is my inky world. This is where all the inky drawings happen. And today's question is all about what is a simple day in the life of Kieron Seamons without all the fancy stuff going on. What is it? Okay, here it is. Well, okay, hello and welcome back. The simple life of an illustrator is actually a very quiet one. I do wear a hat almost all the time. I'm not today, but that's a very, very rare occasion. Even when I'm not doing the videos, I always wear a hat. I've got quite a few hats around, as you can see. Hundreds of hats everywhere, and I just plonk a hat on, and it's just a habit. It's just a way of working. I will sit here. I'll get my papers. I'll get the script. I will start to work from the script. I do quite often have a sketch. I will sketch out some. I don't know if you can kind of see the scribbles on there. I kind of scribble out some ideas. If it's for a book, I scribble out some ideas, get my thoughts rolling. And that's basically one of the ways to kind of loosen up the story. You kind of read through the story, and you will have visual. You know, you will read a paragraph that will give you an idea. It'll give you a vision of maybe this character, this kind of rabbit character. Maybe he's, oh, I see this. Maybe he's doing this, and then you kind of do a little doodle. And at the end, when you watch back through, you have this beautiful image, and it's kind of like the image of their story and your vision of their story. And it's a very beautiful way to do, reading the story and sketching out some thoughts, some ideas, some visionary ideas of what is actually happening in the story through the eyes of an illustrator and not through the eyes of a storyteller. And for me, that's a really, really magnificent part. It's kind of like, you know, if you were to listen to one of those kind of like radio books or something like that, you know, like you'll have this very loose vision, you know, when they explain about a character. This character is very tall and he wears a long black coat, and he has a very pointy nose, and he has very staring eyes and stuff like that. And you will start to visualize this character. And the more you're sketching, the more it loosens that, or free is probably it. Kind of frees up the character. It kind of gives you a sense of reality to this character. The whole thing that you visualize, how this kind of pointy nose or these staring eyes, and it's a very, very beautiful way. So in this character, in this story, it's kind of like a rabbit. I can't give too much away. I'm sorry, but it's kind of like a rabbit, and things are not really going too well for him. And as you can see in this picture here, his tail has fallen off. So, for example, in this point here, it's kind of like, how do you show this one scene of this kind of rabbit, but his tail has fallen off? How do you show it? Do you show him kind of walking forward and you can see the tail in the road behind him? Or do you have this kind of back version where he's kind of turning to look at his tail? Or do you have this realization that another character is pointing and saying, oh, look, your tail? There's all these different angles, there's all these different approaches to it. And that's where the fun comes in being an illustrator. It's where magic happens. And so I've taken this approach that he is standing there and he's kind of looking over his shoulder like, what happened? What was that noise? You know. So I feel that as an illustrator, it gives you such power. And in some ways, you're almost directing the person who's reading the story to see the story through your eyes. And that's very, very, very powerful. What is his expression? Okay, well, I had this idea that he would have one eyebrow up, as in showing the surprise, and then one eyebrow down, kind of like, what has happened? So that's, again, the expression is a beautiful, beautiful part of the story. So a day in the life of an illustrator is something that's, for me, it's for me, it's a very beautiful process. I wake up, I have my breakfast, I have my little dog, and called Mr. Miro, and Mr. Miro is who I spend my morning with. We sometimes sit in the garden, sometimes we go for a walk together, depending on the weather. I often talk to my dog. I know, nutty. But I very often talk to him and say, oh, today we need to do this. Today we need to finish those illustrations. Or today I'm thinking about doing this with the character. And almost to the point as like I'm talking with you. It's like and although he doesn't answer me, sometimes I kind of self-answer some of the questions, some of the problems that I've been facing. And that's the same way that I've been talking about doing your sketchbook. Your sketchbook also is a very, very, very good way to kind of scribble down your ideas about what is this character doing. And these little sketches, I can't show you too much at the moment, sorry, but the sketch is very much like this, of this pose. But when you read it through a second time, you might see that paragraph in a different way. And in some cases, you will find that you will draw 3 or 4 versions of an illustration, and that's very good. It's a very good process. Don't get too kind of precious about your illustrations. And I have promised to keep this illustration quite clean. And this pose really kind of, for me, was very attractive. This thing of him kind of like, oh, what's that noise? What happened? And he didn't really want to turn around, but almost like he just wanted to kind of peek over his shoulder. And I drew it from a couple of different angles to see if I could better the feeling or better the emotions. And I don't feel there is a better way of doing it. I do feel that what I have drawn captures it perfectly. And so far this is the way things have been drawn. Now this is a wonderful story. Again, I can't say too much. And sometimes obviously when you're doing illustrations for people, you kind of need to be a little bit kind of secretive about things. But so that is the my life is a very simple thing. It's I'm not the type of person who's very outgoing to, maybe when I was younger I would have done, I might have gone to concerts, or I might have gone out to big places to meet people and such, but these days I really enjoy my simple life. I really enjoy waking up and drawing. Waking up with whoever has commissioned me to do the work, whoever's idea of the book. And I would have liked to have gone a little bit kind of wilder with this character, because I feel there's a lot of emotions in there, and there's a lot of character in there that I could have gone more with. But at the same time, you need to kind of follow somebody else's vision, and if they see it in a certain style, you need to capture that. And that is the basic character of today. That's basically what is happening. And what else about my day? I put on some kind of burning incense, again, just to kind of change the mood. I do try to keep my I do like to have a drink of something on the side. I like to have my first brain likes to have some herbal tea and be very healthy, and that's a very good side. And my second brain likes to have a rather strong coffee. Completely the opposite, which is lovely. And I do kind of jump between them. Some mornings my second brain will be begging for some strong coffee to kind of, I don't really believe that it wakes you up, but we're kind of tricked into that idea that coffee is a wake up. It's kind of like it picks you up, and herbal tea is kind of like bland and boring, which I don't really see. I just see them as hot drinks. I would probably say the main difference between a day in the life and filming is talking. My illustrations are very quiet. They are very, very, very solitary things. One of the difficult things really about being an illustrator is you do spend a lot of time on your own. For me, I never feel like I'm on my own. I just don't. That thought never comes into my mind. Obviously, I have Mr. Miro, who is my little best friend. And he's just incredible. He's everything at the moment. He's one of those kind of angels. He's an angel. I don't really, the whole day is kind of like revolves around him. If he gets hungry, I very rarely feel hunger these days. It's like I'm quite I'm quite content just to draw. But Mr. Mira is very different. Mr. Mira will start jumping around saying, "It's lunchtime. We have to eat." And that usually is my kind of companion, really. He keeps me looking after myself. You know, it's like if he is hungry, he will start jumping around, and at that stage, it's kind of like, okay, I'll make you some food. Okay, well, I'll have a banana sandwich or something. Yes, banana sandwich, lovely. I love banana sandwich. The only thing better than a banana sandwich is a banana and walnut sandwich. And my friend makes the best egg salad cream sandwich. Don't use mayonnaise. You have to use salad cream. And you chop up a boiled egg and you mix it up with some salad cream. It makes the best, most amazing sandwich you could ever have. And those sandwiches appear in my Worry Lips book as well. So this part here about the character is he's hiding from the rain. And usually when people are hiding from the rain, I usually find their expressions are really like sad or, oh, it's raining. In this, I wanted him to be very happy. I wanted him to be very, 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 very happy with the fact that it has rained. And in this case, it's worked out very, very, very beautiful. Because I feel like this whole feeling of being in nature is a beautiful thing. It should be seen as a beautiful thing, you know. And I wanted that to come across in this drawing. That being in the rain is a beautiful thing. Being in the windy area, being in the nature, the wind, the cold, the heat, the sun, the rain, enjoying all of those things. And that's also where Mr. Miro comes in as being my person to go for a walk with. That is the little dog next door. Mr. Miro's going out to check why he's barking and going crazy. It's like the little Mr. Miro doesn't bark, so he just kind of squeaks with excitement, but he doesn't really bark. It's just his breed. He's a Chinese crested, and they don't really bark. They kind of just squeak with excitement is the best way of explaining it. But when the other dogs start barking, he loves to run into the garden to see what's going on. What's happening? What's everybody talking about? I guess their kind of barking is kind of like our internet or something, you know. It's kind of like, what's happening? Ruff, 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 ruff. Really? The dog at number 27 is what? Oh my God, that's terrible. You know? Like they're all barking their gossip across the park. So, but to be an illustrator is, and I have to say still is, after, oh my, I don't know how many years. You can kind of work it out. I was 17 when I started to work in animation and draw every day. And now I'm 21. You can work You can work out how many years that is. But I also like every single thing that being an illustrator brings. The way that a story can affect you. Sometimes people send you a story and you, oh man, wow, that's incredible. I love that. I love this. I love this. I love. And it's a very, very beautiful thing that people let you into their imagination. You know, they send you stories that just make you think. I'm going to turn this around because I need to do some rain on here, and I'm going to try and do it. So the life of an illustrator is a very quiet, very, very much solitude. You don't really see many people. I don't see very many people unless I walk the dog in the park and I meet, you know, this. To be honest, I know most of the dog names. I don't know many of the people's names, except for maybe John and Freya and a couple of people. But most of the times you kind of go, oh, there's Casey or something. Or there's little Fluffy, whatever. But then it's also one of the strange things about being an illustrator is that you're dealing with stories about. In fact, this one is about a rabbit. Quite a cute, silly little rabbit, which is wonderful. But then when you meet people, you know, and they in the park, for example, and as an illustrator, it's kind of like you want to tell them about your day, but it's kind of like, oh, I was, you know, hey, Kieron, what were you doing today? Oh, you know, I was working on this story about this little rabbit, and this little rabbit is, and you know, a person of my age talking about these little talking rabbits, and it's kind of like people look at you like, uh-oh, here comes a lunatic again. Whereas other people are talking about football and what they watched on TV, and you know, I own a TV, but I can't remember how many years back it was when I last turned it on. I haven't watched TV in so long. And I don't miss it. I don't miss it at all. But I don't know what to talk about. When I meet other people and they're saying, oh, today, did you see that movie last night on... No. Oh, have you been watching the TV series of... Nope. It's very difficult. So sometimes I get so wrapped up in my world that sometimes it's difficult to kind of talk with other people sometimes. But that's very common. I guess if you're an engineer or you're a computer person or you're a I don't know, mechanic, I guess you have the same problem. Do you? I don't know. What is your job, and do you talk with people? I find it sometimes. Obviously, if people ask and say, "Oh, Kieron, what book are you working on?" I get quite excited and say, "Well, actually, I'm working on this book about." Like at the moment, I'm working on the World Lips book. Oh, I just put my finger in a drawing. It's a very rare thing for me to do. No problem. I'll fix that. At the moment, I'm working on the World Lips books, and I'm very excited to kind of to talk about it, because sometimes I talk about these stories and it kind of, you say, oh, well, at this point, the character is doing this and this and this, and then this happens, and you get excited about it. And then somebody might just say, well, why would that happen? Surely this would happen, wouldn't it? Oh, really? And it makes you think. It gets you all, I can't wait to get home now. I can't wait. I can't wait to kind of get home and rethink that part of the story. But it's a beautiful life. It's a very lonely life. So if you're thinking about being an illustrator, make sure you're the right type of character that loves the job so much that you could spend all day doing it, or all night doing it, or all week doing it, or every day of the week for a couple of months and not see people and not talk to people. Because that's sometimes, especially as you kind of get older, you kind of do get so sucked into your work that you get you kind of like disappear a little bit. But so that is today's a day in the life of an illustrator. I'm a very happy illustrator. I love my job. I would never change my job. I will do this until the end of time. So if you are thinking of being an illustrator, make sure you're drawing every single day, okay? And you can always come on here and sit and draw and listen to me talking away while you're drawing and I'm drawing. I do these every day almost. So there's over 3,000 videos on there. And you're very welcome to just put it on, and I'll be talking about my drawings and you can do your drawings, and it's a very beautiful kind of having somebody there to draw with. So I hope you enjoyed today. If you did enjoy today, send me a comment. Tell me what you're thinking. And keep this a secret, okay? Don't tell anybody. This is a top secret little book. Okay? And I will see you again very, very, very soon. If you haven't subscribed, I would love you to come and join the happy little group that we are. And I will see you all again very, very soon. Bye-bye.